Strange Block Beats.
If I had to look you in the eyes, I don't think I could handle it. Tryna ask for it. It's not about me or my pride. I'm just tryna abandon it. Can't take a risk. Hands and knees shaking, voice nearly breaking, calling out your name. You know my heart and it's tearing me apart. I just hope you understand. Gotta fight myself each and every day. I keep getting in my own way. So if I fall before I'm taken, will you pick me up and tell me you gon' make it out? you gon' make it out. Tell me you gon' make it out. Tell me you gon' make it out. You gon' make it out. Father, can you please forgive me? I ain't been my best. Father, please forgive me. Abba, can you heal my spirit? I'm in need of it. I know that I'm scandalous. Handle that's been hurting me. Still I'm blessed. Time for strength. I'm done looking back. That's my old ways. I'll be moving on like a drag race. Take my hand, show me where the pathway. Fight myself each and every day. I keep getting in my own way. So if I fall before I'm taken, will you pick me up and tell me you gon' make it out? Tell me you gon' make it out. Tell me you gon' make it out. Tell me you gon' make it out. You gon' make it out. Yeah, you gon' make it out. Father, can you please forgive me? You gon' make it out. Can you heal my spirit? I'm in need. You gon' make it out. Can you please forgive me? You gon' make it out. 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 You gon' make it out.
Hey, big salute, family. This your brother K. Judah. Giving all praise to the Most High Yah and faith in Yeshua HaMashiach. To the Israelite family worldwide, I say peace and blessings. Big salute to the CUC family, the FOPE family, and my beloved sister Naphtali, ADUIC, and all the rest of our family. I've been laid back for a little bit, just watching. And I noticed that a lot of our people are weary. A lot of our people giving up. A lot of our people are turning back into the world. I feel bad for our people, man. I really do. Some of these things that's happening to our people is unwarranted. It's not like they causing it on themselves. It's just everybody ain't strong as the next person. That's why the Bible say we gotta bear the infirmities of the weak. And those who are weak in faith, your faith may be strong, but your brother and sister faith may be weak. And we supposed to strengthen that faith and encourage our people. But it is true what it say. When you lost in the world, like you feel like you got to be stern and hard and make your heart cold. Man, once that truth hits you, everything make you emotional. You know, you see a homeless man. Well, I always been like that though. I saw a homeless man one time. I just broke down crying because of the stuff that the brother was saying. The brother was like, "Hey, can we pray together?" That man grabbed my hand. Boy, I started crying like a little baby because he had asked his sister, "Hey, sister, you got $10? I'll give me something to eat." And she was like, "Ugh, get away from me." And I got mad. I was like, "Man, you ain't got to do all that, man. The man just asked for $10, get something to eat. You sitting up here doing all the time. I get away from me." So I gave the man the money and went and sat in my car and cried like a baby for about 45 minutes. And it was before I knew the truth. Can you imagine knowing the truth and saying our people now? Because I ain't know the truth then. And I still would break down into tears just seeing the condition of our people. Because at that time, I'm trying to figure out why we're going through what we're going through. You know, you lost in the world. You don't have no directions. You praying to Yah, but in your mind, he ain't answering back. He don't hear us. You know, you look around and you see everybody else prospering, and you thinking in your mind, man, what God got against us? What Elohim got against, you know, people that look like me? Everybody else doing good, we doing bad. Like this, the questions I'm asking myself growing up as a young man, just looking at the condition. But the point I'm making is that when you lost, you know, you even look at your own brothers with an eye of, I gotta watch these niggas. But once the Most High bring you into that knowledge, all that softens up. You realize that, man, this is my people. Now, I don't gotta look at my brother with that eye, even though the scriptures say we will have an evil eye towards each other. But you can change that mentality once you know the knowledge, once you know the truth. Once the love and respect come, you don't think like that no more. Now you're a new creature. You could kind of hear it in my voice, you know. That's why I named this lesson Weary but Not Forsaken. Weary but not forsaken. You know, I'm a little shaken up. I'm just seeing what's going on with our people. And it just hurt my heart. There's so many of our people they just giving up. You know. And this is why I pray for extra mercy from the Most High. Because when our father sinned against you, we wasn't around. So we didn't know the things that they had done when we was born. So we was born in a condition and an environment that we didn't ask for. But because they are no longer here, we have to inherit the things that they have done, even though we wasn't there. Some people may look at that as unfair. Some people may say, how can you do us like this when our fathers did that? And we all have had those questions. But once I read the scriptures and I understood how many chances he gave them and how they rejected him continually to his face, I stopped my complaining. And I just asked myself, what can I do to be a better man and a better servant for the benefit of my people? And that's what I've been striving to be ever since. And I pray you doing the same, family. So as you see the title, you may be weary, but you are not forsaken. My Israelite family worldwide, you are weary, but you will never be forsaken. And that's what you have to keep in mind. That Yah, even though we're going through what we're going through, if it had not been for Yah and his beloved son, we would have been destroyed a long time ago. But because you are not forsaken, and he would never break his promise, you are still here alive this day. So get your Bible, follow these scriptures of the Most High in Yeshua, and get you some understanding. Let's get it. I'm going to go to Numbers chapter 11. And I want you to hear what our forefather Moses asked Yeshua. If anybody should have made it to the promised land, it should have been Moses. Looking at it from my fleshly mind, if anybody should have made it, it should have been Moses. But Moses taught me a valuable lesson. My forefather Moses, one of the greatest prophets to ever live, one of the meekest men to ever grace the face of the earth. He taught me something. It don't matter how mad you get, family. When Yah asks you to do something in your anger, don't let it cause you to sin against Yah. You may be mad at Israel every single day, but don't allow Israel to cause you to sin against Yah. When he asks you to do something, even in the midst of your anger, obey. You can be angry. He say, but sin not. Moses sinned in his anger. He told Moses, speak to the rock. Moses hit the rock and said, shall we fetch this water for you? That taught me something. God didn't get the glory. The Most High Elohim didn't get the glory. Moses said, shall we fetch this water for you? He didn't say, shall Yah give you this water? Shall Yahshua give you? No, he said, shall we? That was a big mistake. So in his anger, he had a slip of the tongue, even though he was the greatest man. So in your anger, don't let it cause you to sin. Let's go to Numbers chapter 11. And I'm going to read verse 1 and 2. Then I'll tell y'all when I'm going to skip down. Numbers chapter 11. And I pray somebody get some understanding today, family. Numbers chapter 11. And verse 1 and 2. And then I'm going to tell y'all when I'm going to skip down. And he reads, and when the people complained, it displeased the Lord. And the Lord heard it. And his anger was kindled. And the fire of the Lord burnt among them and consumed them that were in the uttermost parts of the camp. And the people cried unto Moses. And when Moses prayed unto the Lord, the fire was quenched. Why, family? Moses was the only person that the Lord would listen to. Moses was the only person that the Lord would listen to, family. Nobody else. Jump down to verse 11 through 15. Look at what Moses asked the Lord. And this is a very good question that he asked. Verse 11. And Moses said unto the Lord, wherefore hast thou afflicted thy servant? And wherefore have I not found favor in thy sight, that thou layest the burden of all this people upon me? Have I conceived all this people? Have I begotten them? That thou shouldest say unto me, carry them in thy bosom, as a nursing father beareth the sucking child, unto the land which thou swears unto their fathers. Whence shall I have flesh to give all this people? For they weep unto me, saying, give us flesh that we may eat. And I'm not able to bear all this people alone. And I'm not able to bear all this people alone, because it is too heavy for me. And if thou would deal thus with me, kill me. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. If you gonna deal with me like this, man, just kill me. That means that Israel at this time was so terrible. They was getting on Moses' nerves so bad that Moses told Yeshua, if this the way you gonna deal with me, man, just kill me. That's how bad it was. That's how bad it was. Weary, but he was never forsaken. Weary, but he was never forsaken. Verse 15. And if thou would deal with me, kill me. I pray thee out of hand. If I have found favor in thy sight, and let me not see my wretchedness. So do you see that Moses was weary? But the Lord never forsook Moses. He listened to Moses. Moses said, I can't bear this alone. These people crying to me every single day. Give us flesh to eat. What we gonna drink? Oh, you brought us out of Egypt to kill us. But look what you... That's a heavy burden. I'm pretty sure it was over 1 million people. Now remember, a mixed multitude came out with them at this time. So it was also a lot of them complaining too now. It even tell you that in the Bible, that a lot of the mixed multitude was complaining. And then the Bible say in Israel also was complaining. Can you imagine over because it says 600,000 footmen, that was not including the women in the church. So I'm pretty sure it was over 1 million. And this one man, Moses, had to bear the burden of all these people. Now, this is a flesh and blood man now. Now, we heard the Lord say, is it anything too hard for the Lord? The answer is no. But you can't compare that to Moses, because Moses is a flesh and blood man dealing with flesh and blood issues. There's nothing too hard for you, Yah. But Moses said it was a heavy burden. But you never forsook Moses. And this is why I did this lesson through the spirit of Yah and Yeshua. You are weary, but not forsaken. Moses was not forsaken, even though he was weary. That's the love and mercy of Yah and Yeshua. Let's go to 1 Samuel. I want to show y'all how many times that Saul tried to kill David. David was weary. He was never forsaken, though. Let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 18. 1 Samuel chapter 18. And I'm going to read verse 1 through 12. Then I'll tell y'all when I'm going to skip down. 1 Samuel chapter 18 and verse 1 through 12. And I'll tell y'all when I'm going to skip down. 1 Samuel chapter 18, verse 1 through 12. And then I'm going to tell y'all when I'm going to skip down. And it reads, and it came to pass, when he had made an end of speaking unto Saul, that the soul of Jonathan was knit with the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul. Now, a lot of people try to make this into a homosexual friendship, which is sad and disgusting. But when you love your friend, you love your friend, and y'all have each other back. Your soul is knitted with your friend. You'll be there with him for whatever. You're going to ride with him on whatever. That's all this was, family. But people with, who don't have understanding and have a perverted mind, they try to make this into a homosexual relationship and friendship, which is you have been woefully misinformed. I mean, this is disgusting, the stuff that come out of some of y'all mouth, and this not coming from the Israelite community. This is coming from outside the Israelite community, like the conscious Negroes who try to make this into a homosexual relationship, but it was just a friendship. Verse 2, and Saul took him that day and would not let him go no more home to his father's house. Then Jonathan and David made a covenant because he loved him as his own soul. And Jonathan stripped himself of the robe that was upon him and gave it to David and his garments, even to his sword and to his bow and to his girdle. And David went out whithersoever Saul sent him and behaved himself wisely. And Saul set him over the men of war. And he was accepted in the sight of all the people and also in the sight of Saul's servant. And it came to pass as they came, when David was returned from the slaughter of the Philistines, that the women came out of all the cities of Israel, singing and dancing, to meet King Saul with tabrets and with joy and with instruments of music. And the women answered one another as they played, and said, Saul have slain their thousands, and David is 10,000. And Saul was very wroth. Here go the beginning of Saul trying to kill David. Here go the beginning of Saul trying to kill David. How many of our people in 2024, when somebody gets some recognition and some praise from their other brothers and sisters, the person to your right side or the person to your left side is giving you a stare if looks can kill, but you don't see it though. Envy and jealousy is a murderous attribute in some of our people. I mean, just murderous. And if you could, you would take your brother and sister out if you can get away with it. That's how bad jealousy and envy is in Israel. Saul was mad because David killed his 10,000, and Saul got wroth. Instead of saluting David, embracing David for his talents and gifts, Saul wanted all the credit. He didn't want to share nothing, not even the praise. Verse 8, and Saul was very wroth, and the saying displeased him. And he said, they have ascribed unto David 10,000, and to me they have ascribed but thousands. And what can he have more but the kingdom? And Saul eyed David. And Saul eyed David from that day and forward. And it came to pass on the morrow that the evil spirit from Yah came upon Saul, and he prophesied in the midst of the house. And David played with his hand as at other times. And there was a javelin in Saul's hand. And Saul cast the javelin for the said. For he said, I will smite David even to the wall with it. And David avoided out of his presence twice. Why did Saul try to kill David? Because of envy and jealousy. Why did Saul despise David? Because of envy, and David didn't do nothing to this man. The saying of David killed his 10,000 made Saul want to kill his boy. So sometimes you don't got to do nothing to nobody who envy you, who jealous of you. All you have to do is be present. That's it. Just be present, let your light shine, and they gonna want to harm you. And they can get away with it, they would do it. They would do it. Now jump down to verse 17. Verse 17. And it reads, and Saul said to David, behold, my eldest daughter Merab, her will I give thee to wife. Only be thou violent for me, and fight the Lord's battles. For Saul said, let not my hand be upon him. Let not my hand be upon him, but let the hand of the Philistines be upon him. Here go the second time. Do y'all not see what's going on? Do y'all not? This is first he threw a javelin at him. Now he's trying to put him in battle so he can get slain. All over the women saying David killed 10,000. That's it. Nothing else. Only because of a saying. Jump down to verse 20 to 21. Verse 20 to 21. That's number 2. Verse 20. And Michal Saul's daughter loved David. And they told Saul. And the thing pleased him because he knew his daughter was a mess. What I'm talking about? You better go read about Saul's daughter, Michal. She the same one who told David, you looked at foolish dancing for the Lord. Yeah, this her who had no children because she didn't have no respect for the Most High. And she didn't have no respect for David praising the Lord. So she was barren until her death. So Saul thought he could use his daughter to entrap David because he knew what type of daughter he had. A father, no. That's why the thing pleased Saul. Why you think it pleased Saul? Michal, the daughter, was one of them. Verse 20. And Michal Saul's daughter loved David. And they told Saul, and the thing pleased him. And Saul said, I will give him her, that she may be a snare to him, and that the hand of the Philistines may be against him. Wherefore Saul said to David, thou should this day be my son-in-law in the one of the twain. Hold up, watch this, y'all. Did y'all hear that? Why did Saul want David to be his son-in-law? Because he thought his daughter was going to entrap David, and it was going to become a snare, and he was going to take David out. Do y'all not see what Saul is doing? Saul is the king of Israel over the whole 12 tribes, and in the remainder of his life, all he did was try to kill David. Thank you, positive. That's right. He knew what type of daughter he had, family. That's why the thing pleased Saul. Why you think Saul said, yes, she would be a snare to him? Because he knew his daughter. He knew his daughter. Think about that, y'all. Think about that. Now let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 19 and verse 1. Now, y'all remember, he threw a javelin at David. He tried to put him in front of the Philistines. Now, look at what verse 19, chapter 19 about to say. Verse 19 and verse 1. Watch this. And it reads, and Saul spake unto Jonathan, his son, to all his servants, that they should kill David. There go number 3. Y'all don't think this made David weary, running for his life? This man was running for his life from Saul. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Somebody just want to kill you every single day, and you're running for your life, and you are weary, but you are not forsaken. You are not forsaken. That's right, Arka, just like her father. That's why it pleased him, because she's just like her father. Now jump down to verse 10 through 11, because that's number 3. He tried to kill David. Verse 10 through 11. And it reads, and Saul sought to smite David. That go number 4. Even to the wall with the javelin. He tried to do it again, but he slipped away out of Saul's presence, and he smote the javelin into the wall, and David fled and escaped that night. And Saul also sent messengers unto David's house to watch him and to slay him. They go number 5. In the morning, and Michal, David's wife, told him, saying, if thou save not thy life tonight, tomorrow thou should be slain. Well, she got something right. At least she warned her husband. So I got to give her credit. At least she warned her husband of what her father was going to do. So she wasn't all bad. At least she warned him. At least she warned him. Now jump down to verse 15. Verse 15. And Saul sent the messengers again to see David, saying, bring him up to me in the bed that I may slay him. There go number 6. Jump down to verse 18 to 21. Verse 18 to 21. And it reads, so David fled and escaped and came to Samuel to Ramah and told him all that Saul had done to him. And he said, and Samuel went and dwelt in Naat. And it was told Saul, saying, behold, David is at Naat in Ramah. And Saul sent messengers to take David. And when they saw the company of the prophets prophesying, and Samuel standing as appointed over them, the spirit of Yah was upon the messengers of Saul, and they also prophesied. And when it was told Saul, he sent other messengers. Why is Saul sending all these messengers? Because they are not returning to him, y'all. Because David is not being forsaken by Yah or Yeshua. Y'all see that? He had to send some more messengers, because the first ones you sent, they prophesying. And let's see what happened when you sent some more. Verse 21. And when it was told Saul, he sent other messengers, and they prophesied likewise. And Saul sent messengers again, because they are not returning to your foolishness. The Lord has intervened, Saul, because David is not being forsaken of his power. Even though he's weary in the midst of you trying to kill him every single day. You try to kill David. I didn't already count it 6 times. I can go even more, but I don't want the lesson to be too long. But you try to kill this man 6 times already, every single day. You was trying to kill David for no reason at all, Saul. Man, boy, this sad. Verse 22. Then went he also to Ramah, and came to a great well that is in Succoth. And he asked and said, where are Samuel and David? And one said, behold, they be at Naat in Ramah. So there you go. There you go, family. Because now we're about to go to 1 Samuel 23. He's trying to kill David some more. This is sad. Envy and jealousy caused all this train of events. Nothing else. Nothing that David did, family. 1 Samuel 23 and verse 1. 1 Samuel 23 and verse 1. 1 Samuel 23 and verse 1. And it reads, then they told David, saying, behold, the Philistines fight against Keilah, and they robbed the threshing floor. Jump down to verse 7 through 12. 7 through 12. And it reads, and it was told Saul that David was come to Keilah. And Saul said, Yah have delivered him into my hand, for he is shut in by entering into a town that have gates and bars. And Saul called all the people together to war, to go down to Keilah and to besiege David and his men. They go number 7. Number 7. Verse 9. And David knew that Saul secretly practiced mischief against him. And he said to Abiathar, the priest, bring hither the ephah. Then said David, O Lord Elohim of Israel, thy servant has certainly heard that Saul seeketh to come to Keilah, to destroy the city for my sake. Will the men of Keilah deliver me up into his hand? Will Saul come down, as thy servant have heard? O Elohim of Israel, I beseech thee, tell thy servant. And Elohim said he will come down. Then said David, will the men of Keilah deliver me and my men into the hand of Saul? And Yah said, they will deliver thee up. They will deliver thee up. Now jump down to verse 15. Verse 15. And it reads, and David saw that Saul was come out to seek his life. There go number 8. And David was in the wilderness of Ziph in a wood. Do y'all not hear this? We only counted to number 8. Can you imagine somebody trying to kill you every single day? Can you imagine every time you wake up, you fearing for your life? You running for your life. You looking over your shoulder. You're nervous. You're weary. Because somebody trying to take your life. Wrongfully. Not righteously. Unrighteously. Let's go to 1 Samuel 26. 1 Samuel 26 and verse 1 through 2. 1 Samuel 26 and verse 1 through 2. And it reads, and the Ziphites came unto Saul to Gibeah, saying, do not David hide himself in the hill of Hezekiah, which is before Jeshimon? Then Saul arose and went down to the wilderness of Ziph, having 3,000 chosen men of Israel with him, to seek David in the wilderness of Ziph. There you go again, number 9. That's number 9. Jump down to verse 5 through 9. 5 through 9. And it reads, and David arose and came to the place where Saul had pitched. And David beheld the place where Saul lay. And Abner, the son of Ner, the captain of his host, and Saul lay in the trench, and the people pitched round about him. Then answered David and said to Elimelech the Hittite, and to Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, brother of Joab, saying, who will go down with me to Saul to the camp? And Abishai said, I will go down with thee. So David and Abishai came to the place by night, and behold, Saul lay sleeping within the trench, and his spear stuck in the ground at his bluster. But Abner and the people lay round about him. Then said Abishai to David, Yah have delivered thy enemy into thy hand this day. Now therefore let me smite him, I pray thee, with the spear even to the earth at once, and I would not smite him the second time. And David said to Abishai, destroy him not. David is a righteous man. David is a righteous man. David is a righteous man. I'm about to show y'all something in the Bible that David did something that the scriptures say we should not do. Let me finish this and we're going to prove it with the scriptures. Verse 9 again. And David said to Abishai, destroy him not. For who can stretch forth his hand against the Lord's anointed and be guiltless? What did David practice that's been around for a long time? What did David just practice They've been around for a long time. Romans chapter 12. The book of Romans chapter 12. And I'm going to read one verse, verse 17. Romans chapter 12 and one verse. Verse 17. The book of Romans chapter 12 and verse 17. Recompense not man evil for evil. Read that again. Recompense to no man evil for evil. One more time, Kate Judah. Recompense to no man evil for evil. There you go. See, David didn't do evil for evil. Because Saul trying to kill me, I'm going to kill Saul. David was righteous, family. He could kill Saul on a couple of occasions. Saul was knocked out cold, and David could have killed Saul. But he didn't, family. Because David did not want to put his hands on Saul, a man who was ordained and chosen by Yah to be king. So David did not do evil for evil. So let this be an example for us. Like, choose your battles wisely, family. You don't always have to fight a battle with your fists. Sometimes fight with your mind. And sometimes to fight this, especially if somebody trying to harm you. But in this case, by him being king, because if this would have been somebody else, David would have killed them. But he didn't want to do that to not only a brother of Israel, but a king of Israel. And he had respect unto Saul. So he didn't do evil for evil. And this made it even worse for Saul. Because you're trying to kill a young boy who is not even doing anything to you, bruh. He wasn't a threat to your kingdom. You was a threat to your own kingdom because of you was a disobedient king and a very envious and jealous king. This goes to show you that Saul, as king, had insecurities that we all do. But his insecurities were when they said that David killed them 10,000, that did it. That did it for Saul. How y'all gonna ascribe to me 1,000 and gonna get this boy 10,000? Well, Saul, he is the one who was not afraid to go fight Goliath. And he was just a boy. All y'all was ready for war, prep for war, trained for war, and y'all was scared of Goliath. David said, who is this, thou who death for the army of the living God? He wasn't afraid, Saul. He cut the head of Goliath through the spirit of the Most High, which I know by common sense. That when David threw that stone that saw Goliath, was standing behind him and threw it with his arm. That common sense. When David threw that stone, an angel threw it with him. That's why it sunk in his head. That's just common sense. Just like when you read the testament of Judah, an angel followed Judah everywhere he went. Why you think he was so bad in battle? Because he had an angel with him, helping him fight the battle. Just like you got your angel with you that watch over you and encamp about your house. This is just knowledge now. Knowledge now. Think about that. David was just a boy. So who threw that stone behind him? An angel. Shoo. And then David went through when the Most High put that spirit on David and cut that boy head off. Cha-cha. Because David was already being prepped for king. And he was just a boy. So it's not the stature of a man. It's the spirit. David had the spirit of Yah. And he believed Yah. And without faith, it is impossible to please Yah. And David had faith. He believed that Yah can take this man's head off. David believed that. And Yah manifested that belief. And when David threw that stone, It sunk in that boy's skull. Can you imagine that? The stone was sunk in his skull. That's faith. That's faith. Let's go to 2 Kings. Hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, 2 Kings chapter 18. 2 Kings chapter 18. Now we about to read about Hezekiah. Now y'all saw that. David, he was weary. Moses, he was weary. They was not forsaken though. Let's go to Hezekiah and show you another testament to our fathers and his sons' magnificent power and his mercy and grace. Let's go to Hezekiah. 2 Kings chapter 18. And let's see what the Lord did for them, because they was weary and they was scared. But the Lord told Hezekiah something. And let this be an example for you to strengthen yourself with these lessons, these valuable lessons. Through Moses, through David, through Hezekiah, through Daniel, through all our fathers. Jeremiah, let this be lessons. That you may be weary, but do not faint. Weary, but you are not forsaken. 2 Kings chapter 18. And I'm going to read verse 1 through 3. And I'm going to tell you when I'm going to skip down. 2 Kings chapter 18. Verse 1 through 3. And it reads, Now it came to pass in the 3rd year of Hoshea, son of Eli, king of Israel, that Hezekiah, the son of Ahaz, king of Judah, began to reign. 25 years old was he when he began to reign. And he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name also was Abba, the daughter of Zechariah. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, according to all that David his father did. So Hezekiah, even though he had a wicked father, he was righteous. So you do not have to be like your father. You can be better than your father. And Hezekiah proved that, being the son of Ahaz. Now jump down to verse 13 to 15. 13 to 15. And it reads, Now in the 14th year of King Hezekiah, did Sennacherib, king of Assyria, come up against all the fenced cities of Judah and took them. And Hezekiah, king of Judah, sent to the king of Assyria to Lachish, saying, I have offended. Return from me. That which thou puttest on me, I will bear. And the king of Assyria appointed unto Hezekiah, king of Judah, 300 talents of silver, 30 talents of gold. Do y'all hear this? Verse 15. And Hezekiah gave him all the silver that was found in the house of the Lord and in the treasures of the king's house. Jump down to verse 19 to 23. 19 to 23. And it reads, And Rabshakeh said unto them, Speak ye now unto Hezekiah. Thus said the great king, the king of Assyria, What confidence is this wherein thou trustest? Thou sayest, But they are but vain words. I have counsel and strength for the war. Now on whom do thou trust, that thou rebellest against me? Now behold, thou trustest upon the staff of this bruised reed, even upon Egypt, on which if a man lean, he will go into his hand. It will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, unto all that trust on him. And the Lord told us, do not go back down to Egypt. But our people was trying to lean on Egypt instead of leaning on Yeshua. Our people was trying to lean on Egypt instead of leaning on Yeshua. So the king of Assyria told Israel, or told Judah and Jerusalem, bruh, depending upon Egypt is like a bruised reed, bruh. That if a man lean up on it, it's going to go, meaning that you don't have nothing to stand on, bruh. Egypt ain't got nothing for us. You trusting in Egypt? That's basically what he was saying, fam. Because our father kept running down there to get help from Egypt instead of depending on Yah and Yeshua. Verse 22. This where he messed up at, family. Here you go. Verse 22. But if ye say unto me, we trust in the Lord our Elohim, is not that he whose high places and whose altars Hezekiah have taken away? And I've said to Judah and Jerusalem, ye shall worship before this altar in Jerusalem. Now, therefore, I pray thee, give pledges to my lord, the king of Assyria. Nigga, please. And I will deliver thee 2,000 horses, if thou be able on thy part to set riders upon them. They make it mockery now. Now he's making mockery. He say, I know you not trusting in the Lord your Elohim. I know you not putting your trust in him. This man is making a big mistake, y'all. This man could have said all he wanted to say about Egypt. But once that boy said, I know you not trusting in the Lord your Elohim. Big mistake, king of Assyria. You're talking too much. I told you, sometimes you got to know when to be quiet, fam. Y'all remember like that rich man who asked Yeshua, man, what good thing should I do to have eternal life? Christ ran the commandments down to him. Get what that boy said. Man, I did all that from my youth up. What lack I? Christ said, okay, well, go sell everything that you have and come follow me. That boy couldn't do that. See, if he would have just shut his mouth when he said, oh, I've been doing that since my youth up. But when that boy said, what lack I? Should have never said that. You got to know when to be quiet, dog. Because when Yeshua told you to go sell all that you had, you went away sorrowful. Because you love your possessions more than you love the Lord. Or you love the world more than you love the Lord. But what can your possessions get you in a casket? What can your money get you in a casket? If you don't have good works and you are rich, you're going to die with your bad works and be cast into the lake with the snake. Which one you prefer? Good works and be poor, or be rich and have terrible works and be cast into a lake with the snake? Well, your money won't be there. Your house won't be there. Your car won't be there. Nothing won't be. All the praise you receive, nobody would praise you in the lake of fire. They would be too busy screaming from their own torment. You better think about that. So I'd rather have good works and be poor and get the kingdom instead of live deliciously and receive my consolation on this side and go to hell. It ain't worth it. For some people it is, but not for me. It ain't worth it. It just ain't worth it. Now jump down to verse 28 to 30. Because now we see that the king of Assyria, you talking stupid now. Now you speaking against our Elohim. Now you speaking against our king Yeshua. Big mistake. How we know that? Check this out. Verse 28 to 30. Then Rabshakeh stood and cried with a loud voice in the Jews' language and spake, saying, hear the word of the great king, the king of Assyria. Thus said the king, let not Hezekiah deceive you, for he should not be able to deliver you out of his hand. Neither let Hezekiah make you trust in the Lord. Boy, you in trouble. You are in trouble. You talking stupid. Let me read that again for the people in the back. This king said, verse 30, neither let Hezekiah make you trust in the Lord, saying, the Lord will surely deliver us, and this city should not be delivered into the hand of a king of Assyria. Let me read that again. Neither let Hezekiah make you trust in the Lord, saying, the Lord will surely deliver us, and this city should not be delivered into the hand of the king of Assyria. Now jump down to verse 33 to 37. 33 to 37. 33 to 37. And here it go, family. And it reads, have any of the gods of the nations delivered at all his land out of the hand of the king of Assyria? Where are the gods of Hamath and of Arphad? Where are the gods of Saharvaim, Henna, and Ava? Have they delivered Samaria out of my hand? Who are there among all the gods of the countries? They have delivered their country out of my hand, that the Lord should deliver Jerusalem out of my hand. But the people held their peace. But the people held their peace. Remember, I told you got to know when to be quiet. And our people are holding their peace. Why? Because you're about to find out right now. Woo, I told you, boy, the Lord give me such excitement, like a child in a candy store. Like I'm at the Willy Wonka factory, just sucking on chocolate and running around grabbing candy. I mean, I'm like a big child. When I read these scriptures about our Elohim, I jump for joy. My spirit is just lifted up. He deserved praise and honor and glory, the majesty, the reverence, all belong to our Elohim. Look at what our fathers are doing. These people are smart. They held their peace. They're not saying nothing to the king of Assyria. They're not going back and forth with him. It's a reason for that, family. Verse 35. Who are there among all the gods of the countries that have delivered their countries out of my hand, that the Lord should deliver Jerusalem out of my hand? But the people held their peace and answered him not a word. For the king's commandment was saying, answer him not. Verse 37. Then came Eliakim, the son of Hezekiah, which was over the household of Shebna, the scribe, and Joah, the son of Asa, the recorder, to Hezekiah, with their clothes rent, and told him the words of Rabshakeh. Here you go, family. Y'all ready? 2 Kings 19, 1-7. Let it be known, Yah and Yeshua, what you did to this king and his people, that this may be a testimony and a testament to the nations. All we got to do is hold our peace with these foolish nations. Because all we got to do is pray and be sincere, and our Elohim will deliver us out of y'all hand, which he been doing for over 400-500 years. Because you really want to kill us, but you can't. Because the Lord said, even though we be in captivity, and even though he going to correct us in measure, he said, I will be a little sanctuary among you. So you can't kill us, partner. That's why the Bible say we going to eat poison and live. You poison our food, you poison our water, you do all type of things to us, and we still here. So you can't kill Israel. I mean, you kill some of us, but that's not going to stop nothing. Because he's going to multiply us more than our fathers. So we don't got to say nothing to you wicked, perverted nations. All we have to do is hold our peace and be still and see the salvation of Yah and Yeshua. That's it. That's it. See the salvation of your Elohim and your King, Yahushua. Verse 19. Chapter 19. I'm getting a little bit excited. Excuse me, family. I apologize. I'm getting a little overwhelmed. I'm excited. 2 Kings chapter 19, verse 1-7. And it reads, and it came to pass when King Hezekiah heard it, that he rent his clothes and covered himself with sackcloth and went into the house of the Lord. And he sent Eliakim, which was over the household, and Shebna, the scribe, and the elders of the priests, covered with sackcloth, to Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amos. And they said unto him, thus said Hezekiah, this day is a day of trouble, and a rebuke, and blasphemy. For the children are come to the birth, and there is no strength to bring forth. See, they had no strength. Because they was dependent upon the Lord, because let's be real. Hezekiah, even though he was a good king, he gave this king the silver and the gold. So he was a little afraid. He said, turn from me, man. But let's see what Hezekiah asked Yah and Yeshua. Verse 3. And they said unto him, said Hezekiah, this day is a day of trouble and a rebuke and blasphemy. For the children are come to the birth, and there is no strength to bring forth. It may be that the Lord our Elohim will hear all the words of Rabshakeh, whom the king of Assyria, his master, have sent to reproach the living Elohim. Hold up. Who did he reproach? The living Elohim. Who did he reproach? He didn't reproach Israel. He didn't reproach Judah and Jerusalem. He reproached the Elohim, the living Elohim of Israel. Big mistake. Big mistake. Big mistake. Verse 4 again. It may be that the Lord our Elohim will hear all the words of Rabshakeh, whom the king of Assyria, his master, have sent to reproach the living Elohim, and will reprove the words which the Lord our Elohim have heard. Wherefore lift up a prayer for the remnant of that which are left. So the servant of the king of Hezekiah came to Isaiah, and Isaiah said unto them, thus should you say to your master, thus said the Lord, be not afraid of the words which thou hast heard, with which the servants of the king of Assyria have blasphemed me. They have blasphemed me, Hezekiah. He reproached me. Don't be afraid of his words, because he blasphemed me. He reproaching me. Verse 7, behold, I will send a blast upon him, and he shall hear a rumor, and shall return to his own land. And I will cause him to fall by the sword in his own land. Jump down to verse 15 to 22. Verse 15 to 22. Verse 15 to 22. And it reads, and Hezekiah prayed before the Lord and said, O Elohim of Israel, which dwelleth between the cherubims, thou art the Elohim, even thou alone out of all the kingdoms of the earth. Thou hast made the heavens and the earth. Elohim, bow down thy ear and hear. Open, Elohim, thy eyes and see, and hear the words of Sennacherib, which have sent him to reproach the living Elohim. Of a truth, Elohim, the king of Assyria, have destroyed their nations and their lands. This is why he was a little afraid, y'all. But look at what the Lord about to tell him. And have cast their gods into the fire, for they was no gods, but the work of man's hands, wood and stone. Therefore they have destroyed them. Now, therefore, O Lord, our Elohim, I beseech thee, save thou us out of his hands. Save thou us out of his hands. Save thou us out of his hand, that all the kingdoms of the earth may know that thou art the Elohim, even thou alone. Verse 20. Then Isaiah the son of Amoz sent to Hezekiah, saying, thus said the Lord Elohim of Israel, that which thou hast prayed to me against Sennacherib, king of Assyria, I have heard. This is the word which the Lord hath spoken concerning him. The virgin daughter of Zion have despised thee, and laughed thee to scorn. The daughter of Jerusalem have shaken their head at thee. Who hast thou reproached? Whom have thou reproached and blasphemed? And against whom hast thou exalted thy voice and lifted up thy eye on high? Even against the Holy One of Israel. Jump down to verse 32 to 35. 32 to 35. 32 to 35. And it reads, therefore thus said the Lord concerning the king of Assyria, he should not come into this city, nor shoot an arrow there, nor come before it with shield, nor cast a bank against it. By the way that he came, by the same shall he return, and shall not come into this city, said the Elohim. For I would defend this city to save it for my own name's sake, and for my servant David's sake. And it came to pass that night that the angel of the Lord came into the camp of the king of Assyria, and smote in the camp of Assyria 185,000. One angel killed 185,000 in one night. Weary, but not forsaken. Weary, but not forsaken. When the nations blaspheme against our Elohim, when they speak against you, Israel, they are speaking against your father and your king. Hold your peace in the presence of your Elohim and pray and ask for the destruction of all those who despitefully use you and abuse you and use your body as the ground. Pray and hold your peace. The same thing he did to this king, it's the same thing he gonna do to all kings of the earth. One angel killed 185,000 because 80 is 80. He said 5, so that's 85,000. 185,000 men died by one angel. So if one angel can kill 185,000, I imagine what 12 angels can do to this world. They would destroy everything. Everything. So do y'all see that I got to read verse 35 again for the people in the back? And it came to pass that night that the angel of the Lord went out and smote in the camp of the Assyrians 185,000. And when they arose early in the morning, behold, there were all dead corpses. Stop playing with our Elohim, man. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 12. Because our fathers, King Hezekiah, you was weary, but not forsaken. King David, you was weary, but not forsaken. Prophet Moses, you was weary, but not forsaken. Let's go to Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 12. I'll pick it up at verse 1. Jeremiah chapter 12. And I'll pick it up at verse 1. Then I'm going to tell you when I'm going to skip down. Jeremiah 12. And verse 1. Jeremiah 12 and verse 1. And it reads, righteous art thou, O Elohim, when I plead with thee, yet let me talk with thee of thy judgments. Wherefore do the way of the wicked prosper? Wherefore are all they happy that deal very treacherously? Jeremiah say, man, how do the wicked prosper? Why are all the people that deal very treacherously, they are living deliciously? Man, did y'all know that Hezekiah's own family was against him? Did y'all know that Jeremiah's own family despised him and wanted to kill him? Did y'all know that? Verse 6. Verse 6. And it reads, for even thy brethren, talking to Jeremiah, and the house of thy father, even they have dealt very treacherously with thee. Yea, they have called a multitude after thee. Believe them not, though they speak fair words unto thee. He told Jeremiah, your own house is dealing very treacherously. Whatever they say to you, do not believe it, because they speaking to you with them fair words, with them smooth words, like they're on your side. They flatter you with the lips. He told Jeremiah, believe them not. This is immediate family. He told him, your own family, your own brethren, they are against thee. They deal very treacherously with thee, man. So this wounded Jeremiah in the spirit, y'all. This really hurt Jeremiah. Let's go to Jeremiah 20. He was upset. I'm about to read it to you. Jeremiah 20. The Lord told him, your own house, your family, they're against you, man. So look what Jeremiah asked the Lord. Jeremiah 20. And I'll pick it up at verse 1 through 4. Jeremiah 20 and verse 1 through 4. And it reads, now Pashur, the son of Immer, the priest, who was also chief governor in the house of the Lord, heard that Jeremiah prophesied these things. Then Pashur smote Jeremiah, the prophet, and put him in the stocks that were in the high gate of Benjamin, which was by the house of the Lord. And it came to pass on the morrow that Pashur brought forth Jeremiah out of the stocks. Then said Jeremiah unto him, the Lord hath not called thy name Pashur, but Magal Misabel. For thus said the Lord, behold, I will make thee a terror to thyself and to all thy friends, and they shall fall by the sword of their enemies, and thy eyes shall behold it. And I will give all Judah into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he shall carry them captive to Babylon, and shall slay them with the sword. Now jump down to verse 7 through 11. 7 through 11. 7 through 11. Look what Jeremiah about to tell the Lord, y'all. Jeremiah said to the Lord, verse 7, O Lord, thou hast deceived me, and I was deceived. Thou art stronger than I, and hast prevailed. Am in derision daily. Everyone mocked me. For since I spake, I cried out. I cried violence and spoil, because the word of the Lord was made a reproach unto me. because the words of the Lord was made a reproach unto me, because the words of the Lord were made a reproach unto me, and a derision daily. Then I said, I would not make mention of him, nor speak any more in his name, but his words was in my heart, as a burning fire shut up in my bones, and I was weary, and I was weary, and I was weary with forbearing, and I could not stay. For I heard the defaming of many, fear on every side. Report, say they, and we will report it. All my familiars, my immediate family, all my familiars, my immediate family, all my familiars watch for my halting, saying, pre-adventure. He will be enticed, and we should prevail against him, and we should take our revenge on him. But the Lord is with me. Weary but not forsaken, but the Lord is with me. Weary but not forsaken, but the Lord is with me as a mighty terrible one. Therefore my persecutors should stumble, and they should not prevail. They should be greatly ashamed, for they should not prosper. The everlasting confusion should never be forgotten. But, O Lord of hosts, that tries the righteous, and sees the reins and the heart, let me see thy vengeance on them. For unto thee have I opened my cause. Let me see your vengeance on them. Lord, my own familiar family is against me, Lord. They look for my halting. They look for me to stumble. They persecuted me. They want to take revenge on me, and all I'm doing is prophesying what you told me to say. Y'all know why Israel loved to harm their own people when they hearing the truth? Because the truth hurt. The truth hurt, family. That's why our people get so upset and angry when you tell them the truth, because the truth hurt. And they'll gnash upon you with their teeth. It take a person who's really humble to hear somebody tell them the truth, and they accept that truth and salute them for that truth. And they won't get mad for them telling them the truth, but they will change and make adjustments in their lives to become better. But boy, if you tell the wrong person the truth, they visage in their face start to change. They start to tremble by the lips. And next thing you know, they swinging on you, because the truth hurts. It hurts. And this is why we got to tell the truth. If I love you, I'm going to tell you the truth. But if I'm a sugarcoater and a yes man, I'm going to pacify you. We can't do that. The Bible say, love your neighbor as yourself, and not suffer sin upon him. That means you're supposed to rebuke your neighbor openly to him. And then if he don't want to hear you, you go get some old people and y'all rebuke them together. And then you bring them to the church. He don't want to hear them, man, you look at him as an infidel. The truth hurt, fam. That's why they wanted to kill Jeremiah, because the truth hurt. Oh yeah, the truth hurt. Let's go to the book of Daniel, and I'm almost done. The book of Daniel, chapter 3. The book of Daniel, I told you, Jeremiah was weary, y'all. He wanted to give up. But he said that the words was in his bone like fire. I know that feeling. I know that feeling. I was running from the Lord so long. I know that feeling. But he had mercy on me. He didn't do me like Jonah. He didn't hit me upside my head. He spared me. He said, this boy crazy. Let me go and spare this boy. I know he don't got no common sense. He trying to run, but he can't go far. He wasn't lying. I didn't go far. I was running. I wasn't running nowhere, though. Running in the same spot. Because when he have you to do something, you going to do it. You going to do it. I don't care what you say. you gonna, because man, it's only so long he gonna let you keep running. Some people he gotta go upside their head. Some people he don't. Some people they run, but he spare them. Some people they just so stiff they can he gotta hit them upside their head. That's the only thing they understand is a body blow or uppercut. Jeremiah, Daniel, the book of Daniel, chapter 3. And I'm gonna read verse 1 through 12. Then I'll tell you when I'm gonna skip down. Daniel chapter 3, verse 1 through 12. And it reads, Nebuchadnezzar the king made an image of gold, whose height was 60 cubits and the breadth thereof 6 cubits. He set it up in the plain of Dura, in the province of Babylon. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king sent to gather together the princes, the governors, and the captains, and the judges, and the treasurers, and the counselors, and the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the province to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up. Then the princes, the governors, and the captains, and the judges, and the treasurers, and the counselors, and the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the province were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar has set up. Then a hurling cried aloud, to you it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages, that all what time you hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, the sackbut, the sorcery, the dulcimer, and all kinds of music, you fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up. And whosoever falleth not down and worship, should that same hour be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. Therefore at that time, when all the people heard the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, the sackbut, the sorcery, and all kinds of music, all the people, the nations, and languages fell down and worshiped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up. Wherefore at that time, certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews. They spake and said to the king Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. Thou, O king, have made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, the sackbut, the sorcery, and the dulcimer, and all kinds of music, shall fall down and worship the golden image. And whosoever falleth not down and worship, he should be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. Therefore, there are certain Jews who thou have set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and and Abednego. These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They have served not thy gods, nor worshiped the golden image which thou hast set up. So our father said, not so, Nebuchadnezzar, Meshach, Shadrach, and that bad Negro, the Abednego, and Abednego. They did not fall down and worship the golden image which Nebuchadnezzar has set up. They did not do it. Now jump down to verse 19 and 21. Verse 19 and 21. 19 and 21. Weary but not forsaken. Weary but not forsaken. Weary but not forsaken. Look at all these beautiful stories in the Bible that the Lord is giving you to strengthen your faith, to let you know he have your back. Verse 19. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and the bad Negro. Jesus. Come on, KJ. And Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 17 times more than it was wont to be heated. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and that Negro. That Abednego. Jesus, boy, it sounds like Negro. Abednego. And he cast them into the burning fiery furnace. Y'all see what this boy doing? Do y'all see what he doing? He is trying to force our forefather, Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and a bad Negro, to fall down and worship a statue. Boy, this is what you call faith. This is what you call faith. This is what you call belief. This is what you call standing on business. They said, no, we don't worship nobody but our Elohim that made the heavens and the earth. King Nebuchadnezzar. Verse 22. Therefore, because the king commandment was urgent, and the furnace exceedingly hot, the flames of the fire slew those men that took Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound in the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astounded, and arose up in haste, and spake and said unto the counselors, did not we cast three men bound in the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, true, O king. He answered and said, lo, I see four men. I see four men. I see four men walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt. And the form of the fourth is like the Son of God. Now hold up. Nebuchadnezzar never seen the Son of God, right? So it's about to give you the answer. Remember, he said, look like the Son of God, but he don't know the Son of God. That's why the Son of God, the king, came to Daniel and revealed the dream to Daniel. But Nebuchadnezzar, he's looking at an angel. How you know that, K. Judah? It's about to prove it right now. Jump down to verse 28. Verse 28. Verse 28. And it reads, then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, blessed be the Elohim of Shadrach, Meshach, and that bad Negro, Abednego, who have sent his angel, and delivered his servants that trusted in him, Israel, and have changed the king's word and yielded their bodies, that they might not serve nor worship any power except their own power. There you go. Weary, but not forsaken. Weary, cast into a fire. He heated the fire up 7 times more. It was so hot that it slew the men who tried to bound Shadrach, Meshach, and that bad Negro. And it killed them. He threw Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fire. The Most High is so awesome and so magnificent that he yielded their body, that the fire didn't even touch them. Talk about love. Talk about mercy. Talk about displaying your power on high. Come on now. How can you not believe this Elohim? How can you not have faith in his son? Look at what you read in the scriptures, that these are testaments to our faith. Edification for us. The things that are written aforetime is written for our learning. These are examples on how to strengthen your faith. Because all of us never was cast into a fire or a lion's den. We didn't have the burden of a Moses. Nobody is chasing you daily to kill you. How you don't have faith in this Elohim? How? I'm getting a chill. I'm getting a chill. He yielded their body, that the fire did not hurt them. He said, I see 4 people walking around, and the 4th one is like the Son of God. But it was the angel that the Most High sent to manifest his greatness and his power before Nebuchadnezzar, that there is no power like me in all the earth. So much so that Nebuchadnezzar said, there is no power but of Shadrach, Meshach, and that bad Negro. Let's go to Matthew 26. How many more scriptures I got? I got like 5 more scriptures. Matthew 26. And let's show you that Yeshua was weary, but not forsaken. Matthew 26, verse 1 through 4. Matthew 26, verse 1 through 4. I'm telling you, boy, when I read these scriptures, I get overjoyed. I get overexcited. But I can only speak for me when I read it. I believe everything this book say. I doubt nothing. I'm not being tossed to and fro lukewarm. I believe my Elohim. What he say, I believe it. And I promise you, we've been knocking doors down like we're doing in Houston, Texas. We're knocking doors down. All these lies, these Negro, oh, thank you, Father Elohim and Yeshua, for giving me the understanding to display your word to the nation. That they've been lying on you for decades, for years. They've been lying on you for centuries. They said that you were so evil that you killed 42 children. And thank you for making me go back over that verse and that lesson. It never said they died. It never said you killed nobody. You are very specific when you kill somebody. You said they was either slain, or you put to death, or you say they died, or you killed them. But when you read the story of the 42 children, all it said that the she-bears came and mangled them or tear them. Just because you mangle and tell somebody, I seen a dog tear a man up, but the man didn't die. I seen a bear mangle a man on YouTube, but the man didn't die. The man laid there still, but that bear mangled his behind up, but he didn't die. He tore him to pieces, but he didn't die, y'all. So they want y'all to believe that our power is so evil that he'll kill little bitty kids 5 and 6 years old for calling the man bald head. You really believe that's why them young men die? Because it wasn't little kids, it was young men. You got to go read the Hebrew. You can't depend upon the English. In the Hebrew, it called them young men, not little children. Because how can little children be held accountable for calling somebody a bald head? And then you got to understand what was going on in Bethel. A lot of idolatry worship. These was not little bitty kids, y'all. You think that 42 little bitty 5 and 6 and 7 year olds can surround a grown man and make him turn back from the way which he was going? You believe that? All I'm going to do is take my bat off. Man, where your mama and daddy at? And I'm going to spank them all. Think, y'all, we got to use common sense. He didn't kill no 42 kids. He mangled they behind to set an example. Don't you ever disrespect me, because I want you to know something. You need to go read it again. When Elisha turned around and cursed them, it didn't say he sent no 2 bears. It said the Lord sent the 2 she-bears. Why, K. Judah? Because when they told Elisha, go up, you bald head, like Elijah was taken up, go with him. Get out of here. Go up with Prophet Elijah. That was disrespect of the Most High. He sent the she-bears, not Elisha. Read it again, you conscious Negroes and you old waspy Negroes who like to lie and disrespect them. Show me where they died at, and I'll shut up. All right, then. You can't prove it. Prove they died, because it don't say they died. I just had to vent because I'm sick of people disrespecting the Most High and Yeshua HaMashiach. He ain't killed no 42 children. It's all lies, family. Get back to the lesson. Matthew 26. The Lord been busting heads to the white meat and knocking doors down. Matthew 26, and I'm going to read verse 1 through 4. Then I'll tell y'all when I'm going to skip down. Matthew 26, 1 through 4, and I'm going to tell y'all when I'm going to skip down. And he reads, and it came to pass when Yeshua had finished all these sayings, he said unto his disciples, ye know that after 2 days is the feast of Passover, and the Son of Man is betrayed to be crucified. Then assembled together the chief priests and the scribes and the elders of the people unto the place of the high priest, unto the palace of the high priest, whose name was called Caiaphas, and consulted that they might take Yeshua by subtlety and kill him. Now jump down, y'all, to verse 36 to 42. 36 to 42. 36 to 42. Then cometh Yeshua with them unto a place called Gansimeon, and said unto the disciples, sit ye here, while I go and pray yonder. And he took with him Peter and the two sons of Zebedee, and began to be sorrowful and very weary, but not forsaken. Verse 38. Then said he unto them, my soul is exceedingly sorrowful, even unto death. Tarry ye here, and watch with me. And he went a little farther, and fell on his face, and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt. And he cometh unto the disciples, and findeth them asleep, and said unto Peter, What? Could ye not watch with me 1 hour? Watch and pray, that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. And that's many of us. You are weary because of your flesh, but your spirit is willing to keep going. Keep going. Keep running the race, family. Keep going. Don't stop. Don't look back. Keep running the race. You are not being forsaken. I don't see how people don't know that. You got all this to say about it. Yeah, you got all this to say about the Bible. Oh, the Bible's the white man's book. The white man wrote the Bible. That is disgusting and sad that you give all this magnificent wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to the white man. But all these other books y'all read, you can't give me one prophecy out of the book. You can't show me how we're going to be delivered out of your book. You can't show me the grace and mercy in your book. You can't show me our history in your book. You can't even go get history from outside the Bible that validate what is written in the Bible. You can't go get it. You just can't. But I can go get history and then link it up with the scriptures like we do all the time. We can show prophecy from this book. No other book can do that. None shall want her mate. No other book can mate with the Bible. Every other book is just an offspring from the Bible. A diluted version of what we call scriptures, written by a man for real, telling us what's on his mind. Not this book. This is a book of history, prophecy, laws, statutes, and commandment, and testimony of Yeshua from Genesis to Revelation. He come in a volume of the book. It is written of him to do his father's will, Israel. Knowledge not. Verse 39. And he went a little further and fell on his face and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt. And he coming unto the disciples and finding them asleep, and said unto Peter, What? Could ye not watch with me 1 hour? Watch and pray, that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. He went away again the second time and prayed, saying, O my Father, if this cup cannot pass away from me, except I drink it, thy will be done. And his will was done, family. His will was done. Let's see it right now. Matthew 27. And I'm going to pick it up at verse 1. Then I'm going to tell you when I'm going to skip down. Matthew 27 and verse 1. Then I'm going to tell y'all when Yeshua was not forsaken of his Father. That's why when he gave up the ghost, the earth shook and the veil of the temple was rent in twain. Christ had to tell his Father, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do, because his Father was angry what they did to his son. But he had to say, Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing, Father. Forgive them. Forgive them. Matthew 27, verse 1, and it reads, when the morning was come, all the chief priests and elders of the people took counsel against Yeshua to put him to death. Now jump down to verse 27 to 31. 27 to 31. 27 to 31. And it reads, Then the soldiers of the governor took Yeshua into the common hall and gathered unto him the whole band of soldiers. And they stripped him and put on him a scarlet robe. And when they had plaited a crown of thorns, they put it upon his head and a reed in his right hand. And they bowed the knee before him and mocked him, saying, Hail, King of the Jews. And they spit upon him and took the reed and smote him on the head. And after they had mocked him, they took the robe off from him and put on his own raiment on him and led him away to be crucified. Here you go, family. Jump down to verse 35. Verse 35. And they crucified him and parted his garments, casting lots, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet. They parted my garments among them, and upon my vesture did they cast lots. Jump down to verse 46. Verse 46. And about the 9th hour, that's 3 p.m., y'all. About the 9th hour, Yeshua cried with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. That is to say, my God, or my Elohim, why hast thou forsaken me? Jump down to verse 50 to 51. 50 to 51. And it reads, Yeshua, when he had cried again with a loud voice, yielded up the ghost. And behold, a veil of the temple was rent in twain from the top to the bottom, and the earth did quake and the rocks rent. Now I want you to notice something. Yeshua HaMashiach, the one the world called Jesus, he was not forsaken. He was weary, but not forsaken. Why, K. Judah? Because what day did he raise up? On the 3rd day. So the Father kept his promise to his Son, who believed his Father that he was raised him up again on the 3rd day, that he should not see corruption. He believed his Father. What is belief? Your faith. Your faith. He said, Father, you did not allow your Holy One to see corruption, because he was not in the grave to decompose for a long time. He was in the grave for 3 days and 3 nights. And after that, he was raised on the Sabbath day. While it was still dark outside, Yeshua was gone out of the tomb. He overcame. He overcame. And you must overcome. You are weary, but you are not forsaken. You want to give up, but the Father is holding you up. You don't know what tomorrow gonna bring. That weight heavy on your mind because you trying, you struggling. Bills is hard to buy food. And guess what? You are still not forsaken. Job didn't cut your hours, the transportation tripping. The cost of living going up every day. And guess what? You still are not forsaken. How you think you surviving this far? By your Elohim and your King. So why would you turn back now when the Most High and Yeshua been sustaining you and holding you up this long for you to go back into the world? It ain't worth it. What can the world give you but more heartache and pain? At least with this heartache and pain, you're going to receive a great reward for all your labor and your heart and pain. The world going to give you heartache and pain, but it's going to give you heartache and pain to when you die, you going to the lake with the snake. It ain't worth it. What can the world give you that will satisfy you? If you had millions of dollars after you didn't travel the world, after you didn't bought all the houses, after you didn't bought all the cars, what's left? You're still empty. You have no purpose in life. I heard a football player say, I got $17 million in the bank. I got a beautiful wife and kids, and I have no purpose. Listen again. An NFL football player did an interview. He said, I got $17 million in the bank. I got a beautiful wife and kids, and I have no purpose. Because money don't give you a purpose. Money just answers all things. Money cannot give you a purpose. It just answers all things. Yah is the one that give you the purpose. And if you are true to yourself, and if you are true to Yah, you're going to find your purpose, and that's going to make you happy. Not money and where you live at. Not the car you drive. But the people you are helping with that purpose and gift. I got 3 more scriptures after this. Let's go, family, to... Hold on, let me see what this is. I can't even see this. Hold on. Galatians 6 and 9. Okay, I got it. Galatians 6 and 9. Okay. And I got 1, 2, 3. Okay, I got 4 more. 4 more. Okay, Galatians. And then we almost done, man. I only got a few more scriptures. Galatians 6 and 9 and 4 more scriptures after this. I'm finna run it down quick. Get y'all up out of here. Galatians 6 and 9. The book of Galatians 6 and 1 verse. Verse 9. And it reads, and let us not be weary in well doing. And let us not be weary in well doing. For in due season we shall reap if we faint not. So do not be weary in well doing. In the end, you win, Israel. In the end, you win, Israel. The whole 12 tribes. In the end, you win. So why would you give up? In the end, you win. You know, when you get to the end of the book and you done, at the end of the book, you win. So why would you give up? You win. Let's go to James chapter 1 and 3 more scriptures after this. The book of James chapter 1 and verse 2 through 3. Then I'll tell y'all when I'm going to skip down. James chapter 1 and verse 2 through 3. Then I'll tell you when I'm going to skip down. James chapter 1 verse 2 through 3. And it reads, my brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. Jump down to verse 12. Verse 12. Verse 12. And it reads, blessed is the man that endured temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Elohim have promised to them that love him. How do you show your love? By being obedient. Obedience is better than sacrifice. We learned that from the prophet Samuel when he told Saul, obedience is better than sacrifice. So it's better to obey than sacrifice. Let's go to Matthew chapter 11 and 2 more scriptures after this. Matthew chapter 11, 28 to 30. Matthew chapter 11, 28 to 30. I pray somebody got some understanding. I pray that the Lord's word strengthen you. Lean on your righteous brothers and sisters for strength. And those who are strong, bear the infirmities of the weak. Strengthen your brothers and sisters who are weak. Those who are strong, strengthen the weak. Matthew chapter 11 and verse 28 to 30. And it reads, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, and learn of me, and learn of me, and learn of me. For I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Now, I don't understand this. The world give you a heavy burden. Yeshua give you a light burden and you want the burden of the world. But I get it though. You don't believe in Yeshua. You don't believe in Yahushua. So for that reason, it's better to chase the world than chase Yah and Yeshua. Because you can obtain the things of the world faster by getting it wrong. But most of us want the crown of life. That it may take a little longer to get there because we got to wait till all things are fulfilled. But in the end, we win. We win. We win. You win. We win. Yeshua wins. And the Father is glorified. The Father is glorified. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1 through 3, and one more scripture after this. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1 through 3, and one more scripture after this. Hebrews 12. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1 through 3. And it reads, wherefore seeing we also can pass about with so great a cloud of witness, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which do so easily beset us. Let us run with patience the race that is set before us, looking unto Yeshua, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising shame, is set down at the right hand of the throne of Elohim. For consider him that endures such contradictions of sinners against himself, lest ye be weary. Lest ye be weary and faint in your minds. There you go, family. Use Yeshua as an example, lest you be weary. Look at what he been through. He was spit on. He was lied upon. They tried to throw Yeshua off a cliff. They wanted to stone him. They wanted to kill him. They did all type of things to him in the midst of Judah and Jerusalem. Paul just said, look at what he endured with such contradictions of sinners against himself, lest ye be weary. He telling you, look at what he been through and use that as fuel and strength for your walk. Look at what your king been through and he endured, so you endure. Was it easy for Yeshua? No. Because the flesh has started to get to him. That's why he said, Father, if this cup can pass, let it pass. Because now he in the flesh and blood body. And what did he say? The flesh is weak, but the spirit is willing. Meaning that my mind telling me to go through it with it, but my flesh is weak, man. Because I know how they going to kill me. I know they going to spit on me. I know they finna whoop me. I know they gonna pierce my hands and feet. I know they gonna pierce my side. I know how this ends. So, Father, if you can, let this cup pass. But if not, let your will be done, not mine. And that's how we have to be. The Father know you weary. The Father know you tired. The Father know what you've been through for over 400-500 years. He know you being shot down. He know you was lynched and mangled and your children was castrated and the men and the women and taken from you. He have not forgotten. But you have to endure. And if you made it this far, you can make it to the finish line. If you made it this far, you can make it to the finish line. Because we right at the finish line. So keep enduring, family. Because I pray for you, Israel, every single day. Asking Yah to multiply his mercy upon his people. Because we have been programmed, mentally brainwashed, And that requires for more mercy. Let's go to the last scripture. Let's go to the last scripture. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and 8 through 12. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, and this will be last. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 8 through 12, and this will be last. Second Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 8 through 12. And it reads, we are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Woo. Verse 9 again, boy. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Cast down, but not destroyed. Always bearing about in the body the dying of our Lord Yeshua HaMashiach, that the life also of Yeshua might be made manifest in our bodies. For we which live are always delivered unto death for Yeshua's sake, that the life also of Yeshua might be made manifest in our mortal flesh. How? Through your walk. Through your walk. Through your behavior. Through your actions. That's why Yeshua say, he that say he know me and keep not my commandments is a liar. You got to walk in the same footsteps as Yeshua. Verse 11 again for the people in the back. For we which are always delivered unto death for Yeshua's sake, that the life also of Yeshua may be made manifest in our mortal flesh. So then death worketh in us, but life in you. And that's our job, to strengthen the feeble knees, to strengthen the weak hands, to strengthen those who are weak in faith. Everybody's faith ain't the same. You have people with strong faith and you have those with weak faith, but that don't make you a bad person. That just means your faith has to be strengthened through the word. But you have to be willing to listen to the word to be strengthened. Your Father in heaven and your King on his right hand side know you are weary. He know what you've been through, and he know what you still going through. He know they trying to poison your food. They not trying. Let me get that right. They are poisoning your food, your water. They want to exterminate you. They have meetings about you every single day. How to get rid of the Negro, aka the children of Israel. How do we do this? But they so dumb that they don't even know that it don't matter what they do. We are going to eat poison and live. So there's no way around it. There's no way around it. We are not forsaken, but we are weary, but not forsaken. I pray somebody has some understanding. I pray somebody got some understanding. I pray this strengthen the weak in faith, the feeble knees, our brothers and sisters who just want to give up. I pray that you understand this. You at the finish line. Don't turn back into the world now. Keep striving for the goal. Keep running the race. You at the finish line. Don't turn back now. The Bible said, if anybody should turn away from the holy commandments, it is impossible to turn you again, seeing that you have put Yeshua to an open shame. Let me say that again. If anybody come into this truth and you turn from the holy commandments, from the Most High and his Son, to turn you again is impossible, seeing you have put Yeshua to an open shame. Do not go back into the world. The world has nothing to offer you but more heartache and pain. At least with this heartache and pain and being weary, you have an expected end. But according to the world, that expected end is not good. But according to Yah, your expected end is the kingdom. And that's what we all striving for, to get the kingdom. I love you, Israel. I thank you, family. I pray that y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night and the rest of your week. I bid you all Godspeed. Our Elohim has your back, Israel. You have nothing to fear. Strengthen your faith. Read your scriptures and find your purpose in this life and fulfill it according to the spirit of Yah and Yeshua. And I pray he be with you all on your journey to fulfill that purpose. I pray for your families, your children, your mothers and fathers and husbands and wives, and even our elderly of the nation of Israel. Big salute, family, and many blessings.
It's this only road that I'm walking. No company, no company. All the voices in my head won't stop it. My only company.
Blood off my hands, the judgment coming fast, too much blood on his lane. The second exodus is about to happen, he playing. He's sending out the winds on this rock, we gon' stand. We gon' trust the son of man. Just to find the album was disconnected from the source, we done found the power. Messiah built the church back, gotta trust the founder. The carpenter, got the father with him, ain't no stopping you. Protected by the winds if you got his help with you. Stand on the narrow, the father gon' provide y'all his eyes on the sparrow. Never seen the righteous get forsaken, not at all. The devil trying to take us cause he know he about to fall. And Michael standing up in his hour, keep the laws. We gon' blow the trumpet, we ain't go to war with all. Messiah made a way, he laid it down for all flaws. We got the father with his Isaiah, stand tall. Protecting these commands, they at war with him. The dragon man, cause the remnant about to score with him. The children of the prophets, we done finally hockey. The law is the light, got us out the darkness. Return to the Father, ain't no other options. We let Messiah in, we done heard him knocking. Worthy is the Lamb, ain't no better time, surrender all right now. Ain't no looking back, you ain't lot wife, hell no. Fit for the kingdom, ain't no way that he gon' fail y'all. Training up his kids, ain't no way we gon' derail y'all. The devil making war with the saints, man, he smell y'all. We gon' go to war about these commandments to the end. Protect my father word, this ain't no game, this ain't pretend. Messiah coming back, we study yelling, I repent. The angels on the corner, finally blowing out the wings. Ain't no other way to get protected but the blood. I'll put your mercy and your grace around us. Keeping these commandments, cause we know that's real love. Building up this ark, cause you send it out flood. What you see is hand upon this land, it's time to leave. Sodom and Gomorrah out of order, time to flee. Babylon gon' burn, every nation about to see. Messiah coming back, everybody to their knees. Every knee gon' bow. Boy, girl, child, y'all, he coming in the clouds. Thousands of years, now it's almost time now. The valley of the drought, we done came alive now. This for every nigga you done hung, every baby you done raped, everything that you done done. Ain't no way you gonna escape, ain't no way that you can run. You gon' see him face to face with a hill Babylon, but we can't.
In the words of my beloved sister August Dreams and the beloved CUC family, FOPE family, my beloved sister Naphtali, ADUIC, and all the beloved brothers and sisters in the chat. Thank y'all for coming to the Lion's Den, family. Let's get it. your brother K. Chuda want to say shalom.